Hello student, this is Sangeeta Mansukhani, video number 99. In this video I will be explain mechanical work done by a system. So mechanical work done by a system, consider cylinder. Here you see this is the cylinder. Okay, having 1 mole of an ideal gas in it. Clear? So ideal gas fitted with the frictionless piston. This is the frictionless piston. So let the total volume and then pressure of the gas respectively. Here you see this is the Vt and then Vi. Okay, so if PEX area, external pressure, and if PEX greater than P, so the piston moved inwards till, okay, so the pressure of the gas becomes equal to the external pressure, P is equal to PEX. Okay, so this one, work done by an ideal gas in a cylinder. So this is the cylinder piston way. Okay, so when it is compressed by the constant external pressure PEX, so the condition of is P is equal to PEX. Clear? So it is achieved in a single step. If irreversible process, like final volume of the gas is Vf, and then if the change is carried out in a single step, like here volume change L into A, distance, and then A cross section of the piston. So volume change denoted by the delta V, and then final volume and initial volume. So Vf minus Vi. And we have to already known about pressure is equal to force upon area, and force on the piston Pex is equal dot A. Okay, so if W is the work done on the system by movement of the piston, so W is equal to force into distance Pex dot A into L. Okay, and then Pex A into L we have to denote it by the delta V, volume. Okay, so is equal to minus Pex delta V, and delta V denoted by the final volume minus initial volume. Okay, so W is equal to minus Pex Vf minus Vi. Okay, but this is the irreversible process. So when work done by the process, W is equal to minus Pex Vf minus Vi. But if it is achieved in a number of the steps, like reversible process. So reversible process, if pressure is not constant every stage of the compression. Okay, so it changes in the number of the finite steps, and then work done on the gas is the sum of the work done in the all steps involved and is given by the expression. So W is equal to minus summation P delta V. And P here, this work in the P versus V, volume. So plot can be represented by this is the shaded area. So whenever we have to plot pressure and versus volume, so see the curve. Okay, but when pressure is not constant, so changes in the finite steps, this one. Clear? But second term is if pressure is not constant at every stage of the compression and that changes in such a manner, so always infinitely greater than the pressure of the gas and volume. During the process decrease by the infinitesimal amount dV. Like here you see work done by the W is equal to minus integration Vi and Vf and Pex dV. So Pex and dV, volume, and then Pex pressure. Okay, so here initial pressure to the final pressure. So W work is done. But if pressure is not constant, but in case of the compression, Pex is equal to inside the pressure and then plus dP. So P inside plus dP. So external pressure is greater than the pressure of the gas. In case of the expansion, Pex is equal to Pin minus dP. So external pressure is less than the pressure of the gas. So general we have to write Pex is equal to P inside plus minus dP. So W reversible is equal to minus integration Vi to Vf, and then in bracket PR inside plus minus dP dV. Okay, so this above expression show that work done is during the reversible condition. Okay, this expression show that work is done by the during the, since dP into dV is very small in the comparison to P in dV. So W reversible is equal to infinite integration Vi to Vf Pin dV. So finally in terms of the volume from ideal gas equation, PV is equal to nRT. For n moles of an ideal gas, P in or P is equal to nRT upon V. So at constant temperature that is means isothermal process. So we put the value here. Okay, P external way, P in. So W reversible is equal to integration Vi to Vf. PV value P is equal to nRT upon V and dV. Then integration we have to convert into the log. So ln Vf upon Vi and then minus nRT. So then ln convert into the log. So 2.303 log. So W reversible is equal to minus 2.303 nRT log Vf upon Vi. Clear? So Vi initial volume, Vf final volume, and small n number of the moles, R gas constant, and T absolute temperature in Kelvin. Clear? So easily we have to find W reversible. Whenever in finite change in the pressure, so the pressure versus volume plot given the area this way. Okay, this curve is given. So in the infinite step, so reversible condition way. Clear? This is the Vf final and then Vi initial way. Okay, so W reversible is the maximum work done during the isothermal expansion of an ideal gas. So W is equal to minus Pex delta V. So for given change of the volume delta V, W can be maximum if Pex is maximum, but for expansion Pex has to be smaller than Pi. So V reversible is equal to W maximum. Clear? Then next topic is heat. Temperature is the measure of the degree of the hotness or coldness and the quantity of the energy which flows between the system and the surrounding on account of the temperature difference is called heat, Q. Again I say, temperature is the measure of the degree of the hotness or coldness and the quantity of the energy which flows between the system and surrounding on account of the temperature difference is called heat Q. It is also path function and depends upon the path followed. So here heat denoted by Q is positive, and when heat is transferred from the surroundings to the system, so Q is the negative. Okay, and heat is transferred from the system to the surroundings, so Q negative. Clear? So you already known about system in this way and surrounding out way. Okay, so when heat is transferred from surrounding to the system, so Q is equal to P, positive. Okay, and then system to the surrounding, so Q is equal to negative. Clear? So if change in the temperature is delta T and then heat transferred Q is equal to coefficient into delta T. So magnitude of the coefficient depend upon the size, composition and nature of the system. Clear? So this is the heat. Then heat capacity. Heat capacity, in the expression of the heat, Q is equal to coefficient into delta T, and in coefficient is C, then Q is equal to C delta T. So this coefficient C is called heat capacity and is defined as the quantity of heat required to raise the temperature of system by 1 degree. This is the main important. You have to see Q is the heat, but expression of the heat is equal to coefficient into delta T. Okay, so coefficient represented by the capital C, so Q is equal to capital C delta T. So coefficient C is called heat capacity. Okay, what is the heat capacity? The quantity of the heat required to raise the temperature of a system by 1 degree. That is, we increase the temperature 1 degree. Then we have to require heat. The quantity of the heat, it is called coefficient C, heat capacity. Clear? And if the magnitude of the heat capacity is the large, so there is only small rise of the temperature by a given amount of the heat. So example, heat capacity of the water is large. So large amount of the heat is required to raise its temperature. Clear? Okay. Next is specific heat capacity and molar heat capacity. Specific heat capacity, that is means heat capacity and molar heat capacity. So specific heat capacity, that is means heat required to raise the temperature of 1 unit mass by 1 degree. This is the specific heat capacity, and either Celsius or Kelvin. Again I say, for increase the 1 unit mass by the 1 degree temperature, we have to require heat. It is known as a specific heat capacity. And if we have to take in the mole, so consider as a molar heat capacity. Okay, so heat capacity is denoted by the small c. So we have to write heat Q is equal to C into M into delta T. Q, heat required to raise the temperature by 1 degree Celsius. C is specific heat capacity. Small m, mass, and delta T, temperature change in degree Celsius. So if C is the heat capacity of n mole of the system, so then its molar heat capacity Cm is given by Cm is equal to C oblique n. Okay. So heat capacity at the constant volume Cv. So Cv, that is means to raise the temperature of 1 mole of a gas by 1 degree. But when volume of the gas is kept constant, that heat capacity at constant volume. And if constant pressure, and then we have to heat required to raise the temperature of the 1 mole of a gas by 1 degree. So it is known as heat capacity at the constant pressure, Cp. So Cp is the heat required for the purpose, first, increasing temperature of the 1 mole of the gas through 1 degree, and then second one, increase the volume of the gas against external pressure. First is increasing temperature of the 1 mole of the gas through 1 degree, and second one for increasing the volume of the gas against external pressure. So it's constant volume Cv and constant pressure. Whenever the ratio of the molar heat capacity at constant volume and constant pressure, so it is represented by the gamma, Cp oblique Cv ratio. The ratio of the molar heat capacity at constant pressure and constant volume, so is represented by the gamma, and gamma gives information about the atomicity of the gas. Okay, so the value of the gamma is 1.67, 1.40, 1.33. So value of the gamma 1.67 for the monoatomic, 1.40 it is diatomic, and 1.33 for the triatomic gases. Clear? Next topic is internal energy as a thermal function. So first is, what is the internal energy? If we have to definite amount of the energy, so every system is associated with a definite amount of energy. It is known as internal energy, denoted by the capital U and capital E. Okay, and it is a sum of the chemical, electrical, mechanical, and any other form of the energy. So we have to sum that anyone may think of. So all are every system associated with the definite amount of the energy, it is called internal energy. Okay, and gravitational energy is generally neglected. Okay, it is a state function, that is means independent on the path followed. Okay, so it may change when first heat flows into or out of the system, second one work is done on or by the system, and third is matter enters or leaves the system. So there are three types of the way. It is a state function and independent on the path followed. Okay, and it is a extensive property. So depends upon the mass of the substate. Clear? Okay, this is the main basic concept of the internal energy, because it is a state function. Clear? Next topic is first law of the thermodynamics. It is the main concept of the thermodynamics. So first law given by the Helmholtz and Robert Meyer, who stated that the energy of an isolated system is constant. So proposed by the Helmholtz and Robert Meyer, and who stated that the energy of an isolated system is constant. So energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, but can be converted from one form to another. Okay, this is the first law of the thermodynamics. Energy can neither be created nor be destroyed, and but can be converted from one form to another. That's why it is also called law of conservation of the energy. Okay, so other statement of this law, first is it is impossible to construct a perpetual motion machine which could produce work without consuming energy, and second one, whenever a quantity of the one kind of the energy disappear an exactly equivalent quantity of the energy in some other form must appear. So there are two statements of this law. First is impossible to construct a perpetual motion machine and which could produce work without consuming energy. And then second one, whenever any kind of the energy disappear, so exactly equivalent quantity of the energy it is appear. Okay, for must appear. So mathematical formulation of the first law of the thermodynamics, like suppose system is consume heat Q and work is W. So is done on the process on the system. So this process, the internal energy changes from U1 to U2. So delta U. Okay, so delta U is equal to U2 minus U1. Okay, so it's equal to delta E. So delta U is equal to Q heat plus work done by on the system. So delta U is equal to Q plus W. It is the mathematical expression of the first law of the thermodynamics. So there are 3 points of the mathematical concept when a system undergoes isothermal change. Isothermal change, that is means internal energy delta U is equal to 0. There is no increase or decrease in the internal energy of the system. So 0 is equal to Q plus W. Q is equal to minus W. But in case of the isothermal reversible process, so isothermal reversible process, that is means formula is W reversible is equal to nRT ln Vf upon Vi and Q is equal to minus W. So work is minus 2.303 nRT log Vf upon Vi. But in case of the isothermal, this is the reversible and this is the irreversible. So for irreversible formula is Pex in bracket Vf minus Vi. So process is in case of the reversible change, irreversible, and in case the process is carried out at constant volume delta V is equal to 0. So work done will be 0. So first law reduced to the delta U is equal to QV. So increase in internal energy of the system is equal to the heat absorbed by the system, and decrease in the internal energy of the system is equal to heat lost by the system. So here subscript capital V in QV indicates heat is given at constant volume. Okay. Second, we have to use when a system undergoes adiabatic change. First here isothermal. Okay. And here second is when a system undergoes adiabatic. That is means Q is equal to 0. No exchange of the heat. So delta U is equal to W additive. Okay. So work is done at the expense of the internal energy. Clear? But in case of the gaseous system, if a gas expands against the constant external pressure like P, so let the volume change delta V. So mechanical work done by the gas minus P into delta V. Substituent value delta U is equal to Q plus W. So W value is minus P delta V. Put the value here. So delta U is equal to Q minus P delta V. So there are three system undergoes. First is isothermal change. Then second is adiabatic change, and third one is gaseous system. Clear? Then next is limitation of the first law. First limitation is this law failed to explain first the extent and direction of the convertibility of the one form of the energy into another. That is means energy inside way and then out. Okay, in and out. How much energy of the convertibility and direction also. So this law fails to explain this. Then second one, how much heat energy would be transferred from one system to another. So these are two concepts. So not explained by the first law of the thermodynamics. Okay. Next topic is enthalpy. Enthalpy. What is the enthalpy? The total heat content of a system at constant pressure is called enthalpy of the system. The total heat content of the system at a constant pressure is called enthalpy of the system. And if it is the sum of the internal energy and the product of the pressure volume work, so it is an extensive quantity and represented by the symbol H. Okay, so like internal energy represented by the capital H, so H is equal to U plus P delta V. Okay, so U here energy and P pressure and delta V volume difference. So its unit is kilocalorie, otherwise kilojoule per mole. But suppose a system absorbs heat at constant pressure, okay, and its volume change V1 to the V2. So work done by the system W is equal to minus P V2 minus V1. So is equal to minus P delta V. Okay, so now applying the first law of the thermodynamics. So delta U is equal to QP minus P V2 minus V1, and delta U also U2 minus U1. Clear? So U2 PV2 going to the left hand side, so U2 plus PV2 minus U1 plus PV1 and is equal to QP. Okay, so U is equal to PV is equal to H, enthalpy of the system. So U plus PV2 H2 and U1 plus P1 is equal to H1. So by putting these values in the equation number second, clear? So H2 minus H1 is equal to QP, and so that is means delta H is equal to QP. So now in the equation delta U is equal to P delta V is equal to delta H. Here delta H is the negative for exothermic reaction. Why? Because it is evolve the heat, okay, during the reaction, and delta H whenever positive for the exothermic reaction, which is endothermic, which is absorb heat from the surrounding. Clear? Then delta V is equal to when 0. So delta H is equal to delta E, delta H is equal to QP, and delta E is equal to QV. Because heat enthalpy equal to the energy, enthalpy equal to the QP. Okay, clear? So QV heat supplied at the constant volume, and QP heat supplied at the constant pressure. So heat supplied at the constant pressure is the measure of the enthalpy change. Delta H is equal to QP. That is means heat supplied at the constant pressure, the measure is the measure of the enthalpy change, while heat supplied at the constant volume is the measure of the internal energy change. Okay, so this is the main relation of the enthalpy, and then heat supplied at the constant pressure QP, and then heat supplied at the constant volume. So delta H related to the both QP and QV. Next is measurement of the delta U and delta H by calorimeter. So experimental technique with the help of which we can measure the energy change occurring during the various physical or chemical process is called calorimeter. Okay, whenever we have to use measurement energy changes occurring during the various physical or chemical process, it is called calorimeter, and we have to use vessel to carry out the process, it is called calorimeter. So calorimeter is immersed in a known volume of a liquid, and heat capacity of which is known by the measuring the temperature changes and using the heat capacity of the liquid and heat capacity of the calorimeter. It is possible to measure the heat change occurring during the process. That is means we have to use calorimeter for the measurement of the delta U and delta H. Okay, but measurements are made under two different conditions. First, constant volume and constant pressure. So first here you see, this is the bomb calorimeter, and we have to measure delta U. Okay, so heat change occurring at constant volume. Here you see, this is the bomb calorimeter. Bomb like this is way. Okay, outer this is the oxygen under pressure, and this is the way inlet, oxygen inlet, and then here firing leads and thermometer also inside this volume vessel, and one side is stirrer, one second side, another side thermometer, and sample we have to take on this way. So heat change occurring at constant volume, we take constant volume, are measured by the using bomb calorimeter in which a still vessel. This is way, still vessel. Okay, it is called bomb, and it is immersed in a water bath. Clear? Heat changes occurring at constant volume, and we have to used by bomb calorimeter, and then in which a still vessel, and then it is immersed in the water bath. And water bath is used for ensuring no heat loss to the surrounding during the process. Clear? So the temperature of the water is measured whenever the combustible substance, this is the substance, placed in the still bomb and is burnt in pure dioxygen this way. So evolved heat is transferred to the water present around the bomb. Okay, so the temperature of the water is measured and bomb calorimeter is sealed. So its volumes remains the same. Clear? So delta V is equal to 0 and energy change associated with the reaction are the measured at the constant volume. So no work is done by the system. Clear? So formula according to the from the temperature change. So heat is calculated by this expression QV is equal to Cm delta T because volume constant. So Cm delta T mass also. So delta U is equal to C into delta T into M upon Mi. Here capital M molar mass and Mi mass of the substance. Clear? And C heat capacity and then delta T temperature difference. Clear? And delta H measurement also same. Delta H heat change is occurring at constant pressure. U at constant volume but heat change occurring at constant pressure. So here you see this is we have to take reaction mixture inside the vessel and but we have to take vessel is formed polystyrene cup and inside thermometer. So heat changes occurring at constant pressure are measured by the using the calorimeter. Okay, and at this stage heat change because pressure is constant. So QP is equal to delta H. So we get the value of the enthalpy change. Clear? But in case of the exothermic reaction, that is means energy re-release. Okay, evolved. Heat is evolved. So system loss heat to the surrounding. So QP value and enthalpy value will be negative. So endothermic reaction are accompanied with the absorption of the heat. So then after QP and delta H will be positive. Clear? So delta H measurement by this instrument. Okay, this is also calorimeter. Okay, next topic I will be explaining in the next video. Thank you so much.